Our next guest stars on a popular travel channel series entitled No Reservations. Please welcome Anthony Bourdain. This show, I guess you've been doing it for about 5 years in one form or another, where you travel around the world to exotic places and you sample the food, the cuisine, and the life of these areas. And I've seen you eat some things, and I just wonder, do you get sick? Do you get hepatitis? Do you throw up? Have you ever been really ill?
Only 2 times in 4 years, only 2 times.
Is that right?
In France, of all places.
What were you eating in France that turned on you?
Just, too much of a good thing. Another time, the business end of well, let's put it this way, sanitation in the Kalahari is not a premium, you know? Especially when you're eating the business end of a warthog. And,
really, a warthog?
Not good. Sand, fur, and crap in every bite. That was not good. But most of the time, if I find myself kind of on a cold tile floor after a meal on the show, most of the time it's alcohol related.
I see. Well, good. I can rest assured now. But is it true? And I guess I have this impression from watching your show that humans pretty much can eat anything. Is that about right?
Pretty much. Again, I wouldn't recommend. I don't know. I'm not a Chicken McNugget fan, but
yeah, those things will kill you. Hello. And I didn't see this show, but I think I saw it in a promo where it's a snake. They cut the heart out of a cobra. How do they do? Where was that?
It's in Vietnam. I've come to dread the phrase "something very special." As in, Mr. Bourdain, we have something very special for you. That usually means there's something still living or. Living not too long ago. It's a table-side dish, and they bring the cobra by, and they let him kind of strike at you and hiss, and then they zip him open with a pair of gardening shears, and a little heart drops into a plate, and you eat it, and it is in fact beating all the way down.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Whoa. But, I mean, do you swallow it? Do you chew it? What do you do?
It's kind of a one-bite. It's like eating a very athletic, angry oyster.
An athletic oyster. Oh my God! And you say Vietnam is considered a delicacy, or is that something they have all the time?
It's not an everyday dish.
Yeah, something special, like you said.
Honored guest. It's kind of an early. It's supposed to put you in the mood and cause many sons.
Ooh, wow! Speaking of that, you had a child, not a son, but a little girl. Is that correct?
I'm a new first-time dad.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
How old is the girl?
She's 11 months, and I've recently discovered the unholy supernatural powers of Elmo. I don't know whether you've noticed this. It's like hitting her with a stun gun. She calms right down, loves that, just sits there mesmerized by him. I have this kind of recurring nightmare that I wake up and I go into the living room and she's there watching Rachel Ray with the same blissed out look on her face, and I'm stop.
But now this brings up an interesting question, and I know it's occurred to you. A lot of times kids go through phases, and sometimes not just a phase, but they just become picky or difficult eaters. And you eat anything, and you want your daughter to eat anything too, right?
This child will never know what a grilled cheese sandwich with a crust cut off is. She will soon be on a first name basis with every sushi chef in Manhattan. It'll be Uncle Masa, Uncle Yasuda. And mom's Italian, and already, getting, I'm not kidding, prosciutto flavored baby food sent over.
Really?
So.
Oh, well, that's nice.
This will not be, a happy but weird child. I'm hoping.
Well, that's all you can hope for. But I remember reading one of your books where you started out working, as everybody does in that business, in these sweatshop-like restaurants, tourist places up on Cape Cod. Was that what it was? Now, could you go back and do that again?
It's funny. I went back recently. I get a lot of grief from old friends who are still chefs, and they say, you've been doing this for the TV thing for a long time now. You're past it. You've lost all your credibility. Do you even cook anymore? So I thought, well, you know what? I'll go back to my old restaurant and I'll work my old double Tuesday shift where I'd work from 8 o'clock in the morning till midnight. What I kind of neglect, and I'll film it, for television. Really bad idea, because the kitchen is the same size, but the dining room has doubled in size. It's 8 years later. I'm 51 years old. Fortunately, however, I thought if I'm going to suffer, it's always better to have someone you know suffer along with you, and maybe even worse. So I invited Eric Repair, who's the chef of Le Bourdain, to join me.
And you don't need to. I don't need to. But this guy, you ever eaten in that place?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, I've had the 3 great meals in my life. They've all been at that restaurant.
He's a great chef. It's a civil. He's never worked in anything but like a 3-star, very refined, beautiful kitchen. So here he is.
The thing
working.
this guy does, I don't mean to interrupt, but this Eric Repair, the thing he does is with aerosol cheese. Have you tried that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, go ahead.
You know, here Leal, where I worked, it's a turn and burn steakhouse. It does 385, 500 meals, and and plus, as you know, he largely works with seafood. So I thought it'd be really funny to throw him into this busy mosh pit kitchen. And put him on the grill station, and so we ended up having a lot of fun.
Did it work out pretty well? It must have been exhausting. It's exhausting even when you're a kid. Yeah.
I made it through the night, but I woke up the next day feeling it, and any notion I might have about going back to it, I'm kidding myself.
Now, the other thing that I've gained from watching the show is the one message, if any other message, it's that you should eat more organ meat.
Yeah. Anybody, you can really train a reasonably intelligent bonobo monkey to grill a steak or boil a lobster. It takes really, and I have.
But you got to get in there. I mean, for example, sweetbreads, again, is it the thymus gland?
The thymus gland.
Thymus gland.
I think most chefs really love that stuff, the shanks and shoulders and the tough bits, the squiggly bits, because it really takes some craft and some magic to make that into something good.
That was it when the relationship of humans to food was more than just a nice time out. I mean, it was essential. You had to use all of the animal.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the real cooking is, and you know where your food comes from then. It's not this shrink-wrapped kind of hygienic stuff.
The show, Mondays at 10 a.m., is a huge hit for the Travel Channel. It's Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations. Good to see you again. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.